Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your Mercury retrograde reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, just a reminder to not respond to anybody soliciting you in the comments below, saying that they are me, asking you if you would like a reading. That is not me. I'm actually closed to private readings at this time. So now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Fantastic. Now let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th, to February 21st, 2021. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. These four. We have here determination, the solar plexus chakra. Then we have angels and masters, angels and divinity. Right here, the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. Then we have self-mastery, again, the solar plexus chakra. And finally, you have dreams, the third eye chakra. And we'll see how this all correlates to the tarot. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see here. We have the Four of Water, the Four of Cups, the Moon, which is Pisces energy, time frame February 19th to March 20th, the Five of Earth, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Fire, the Four of Wands. You start with a 4, you end with a 4. So you're very much grounded in yourself during this time, Libra. You have to be true to you, to what your body is saying, to what you need spiritually, personally. Like as you're moving forward, you're going to have a very strong tendency during this Mercury retrograde to think, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, I don't need to listen to like what my body's saying. I just can keep on pushing. I can keep on pushing. And that's going to be something that you need to take into account during this time, because you can't. You need to listen to yourself. You need to listen to yourself emotionally, spiritually, personally, as you're moving forward, which might seem like too much at times, but it's really going to be very helpful. Then we have the Five of Fire. The repeat of the number 5 means that you're setting yourself free in one way or another, very much so. It's kind of like you're breaking out of the mold. You're also going to think things are going to be so much harder than they actually are. Then you have the World. You have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, and this Mercury retrograde is in Aquarius, so this is a time where this Aquarius energy shines through. It can be a little bit more aloof than you want it to be, but you're actually pretty good with that here, which is really nice. And then you have the Magician, which is awesome at your root, so your heart right now is just on fire. It really is. Then we have Unity, which is Taurus energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. You have the Three of Water, which is the Three of Cups, the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups, and you have at the root the Sun. So that's beautiful. The Magician and the Sun, you're really stepping into your own as you're embracing what you love, as new opportunities are coming forward for you, as there's a sense of contentment, peace, and abundance that is around you. Now let's look at the energy that you need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Libra needs to be mindful of during Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? What is the energy that Libra needs to be mindful of for Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Just did your chakra energy. Okay, so we're going to see this. This is obviously a mistake that Spirit wanted me to make. I was going to go with your person cards, but let's see here. So you have the sacral chakra, which is where your creativity and sexual energy is stored. It's also where a lot of the negativity from this life and past lives come forward. So your past life self, the negativity that was spoken over you as a child, kind of like DNA curses or generational curses, those are going to be the things that come forward during this time. And then you have rebirth, the earth star chakra. You're trying to be reborn into more, but there seems to be blockage there. And then we have Mother Earth. So again, the Earth Star Chakra, what you're planting yourself in, the energy that is feeding you is at times blocked. It is like, I can't move forward. I can't ground myself the way that I want to. Now, it can be that, again, you're too concerned with what everybody else is thinking. Mercury retrograde is a time where things can get very, very intense. And the really cool thing that I like about Mercury retrograde is I was just reading Erin Sullivan's work, and she said that she's discovered that the time we spend in Mercury retrograde, the time Mercury is in retrograde and moving backwards, and the time Mercury is direct, moving forward, is equal to the time the human beings spend asleep and awake. So when we are in Mercury retrograde, this is really our subconscious self speaking to us. This is the place. This is to take the time and to see the place where our subconscious is saying, look at me, look at what you need, look at what you desire, because these are going to be the places where you have the most conflict moving forward. And with this energy right here, and we're going to get to the other cards really quickly, you're going to see that these are blockages that you've met before. And this is almost thinking like, well, maybe this isn't meant for me. Like maybe I don't get to move forward this way. And you're going to find here that this is actually a time where you can start to break a generational curse. You can start to break the binds and the way that things just were always done. Like, in your family, with the people who raised you, with, with the energy that is around you. It's kind of like, well, this was always it, or this was the negativity that was spoken over me when I was very small, or when I was very vulnerable, and it became part of my world. And so here you're going to see yourself entering into a new horizon. You're kind of taking old preconceived notions and you're shattering them. You're going to, I really see it as kind of like breaking this glass against the wall, and everything shatters and it just opens, and you're going to find yourself rerouting yourself in the earth, in what you desire, in what nurtures, in what heals, and also in wanting that rebirth, in moving forward. But these are going to be areas that get to be very sticky for you, because this triggers, this is bringing up issues that we already have, things that you're already sensitive about, Libra, and it's testing you. It's like, do you want this new horizon or not? And who's going to say, no, I don't want the new horizon? But it's being tested. It's sitting there and saying, can I move out of the past enough to be inspired, to have this horizon, to find myself really stepping into my creativity, my sexuality, my sensuality for everyday existence. And it's needing to reroot yourself. You're going to find that the soil that you're rooted in isn't giving you the nutrients that you want. And that's going to be a very big thing for you. It's going to be a rethinking, a recalibrating, because what's around you here is determination. You are determined to kind of swim upstream, to go against the tide, to move forward, to, embrace what it is that you desire. And sometimes you're just going to get so frustrated. You feel so overwhelmed, but don't lose sight of your goals. Your angels are absolutely right there with you. Your spirit guides are there with you. Divinity is guiding you forward. There are more blessings here than you know, and you're protected. So even in the darkest moments, even in the times where you feel like nobody is understanding, and that will be very powerful for you, you're going to find that it's not about keeping the peace. It's not about keeping everybody else happy. It's about connecting with your angels. It's connecting with your soul, with yourself. If you go to sleep at night and say to your spirit guides, and give your spirit guide a name so it becomes much more personal. Mine is Imani. So you might find yourself saying to your spirit guide, give them whatever name that comes into your head that they say to you, and say, please guide me in my dreams, because you're going to find that you're highly connected in your dreams. Even if you're like me, you don't remember your dreams, these will be times when you talk to your spirit guides and you say, please, give me guidance in my dreams, that you remember this dream. And it can be the oddest dream that you ever had, but you start to kind of puzzle the pieces together, even without thinking about it. And you're like, oh, that's what that meant. Oh, that's the power that I'm moving forward in. And it's your angels being right there with you, saying there are bigger plans here for you than you know. And it can be very easy to be caught up in the muck and the mire of things. Self-mastery. It's listening to yourself. It's finding that power. It's embracing that understanding. It's rooting yourself. It's moving yourself forward. It's saying, this is me. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I desire to move me forward in my life. And you're going to see that the self-mastery really opens up a greater understanding than what you thought it could be. It's like, okay, this is who I am. And dreams, they speak to you. They speak to you, they embrace you, they help you move forward. You'll find yourself saying, oh, wow, I always dreamt of doing that. Or, oh, I always, thought that would be really cool or fun, or, right up my alley. And you're going to find that things that you thought were always going to be relegated to the realm of dreams become part of the world that you're embracing right now. And the Four of Water is divinity handing you a gift that you're not expecting, you're not planning on seeing, and it's going to be coming your way. But during this time, especially, it's not going to seem like a gift. It's going to seem like another responsibility. And the thing with Mercury retrograde is that it starts on the 30th, right? But pre-retrograde starts on the 15th of January. So you can feel yourself in the muck and the mire of it all. And you're like, wait a minute, I still have, so much more time to go. Why am I feeling like this? Because you're very sensitive to the movements of the planets, the movements of the stars. I find myself very sensitive to all of this. And so here, when you're getting a gift, and during Mercury retrograde, it can also make you feel like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I am fed up. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not, you'll also find that you're not taking care of yourself the way that you should be, because it's just like you're pulling yourself in all different directions. And that part of the human condition where it's like, I can take so much, I can take so much. And then you're just going to want to zone out, just sit there and scroll on your phone, watch nonsense and think, oh, okay, well, this is the freeing for my mind. And you're going to find here with the Four of Water, when you're going through this, there's going to be something either put on your plate or there's going to be something that you're looking at. And it's like, it becomes a gift, but you don't see it yet. And it also becomes a gift that you're not anticipating. It's like, oh, wow, could that possibly be? How do I move forward like that? Like, how is that me? And you're going to sit there and you're going to realize, oh, wow, there's more here. There's more to me. There's more to what I desire from life. There's more to the way that I'm moving forward during this Mercury retrograde than I had imagined, because you're being challenged. And you're being challenged to sit there and look at your subconscious self, look at the self that we usually keep locked away and say, there's validity here. There's power here. And that's what the moon has us do. And it's also going to be a thing. I could feel myself getting faster and faster and faster. I get so excited. And that's going to be another thing that you do here, Libra, is like, you pull back, you center yourself, and you say, this is what needs to be said, slowly, carefully, purposefully. And the moon is having you look at your fears. There are going to be times here where you're facing fears that, again, you'd rather not face. You'd rather be like, well, this is nonsense. I can't possibly do this. And there is a sense here of breaking the chain that fears had around you, breaking the chain of doubts or of anger and upset, upheaval, and saying, this is where I need to be. This is who I am. This is what I desire from my life. And you're going to see that the fight or flight reaction is really quite powerful during this time. It's like, well, maybe I just run away. Maybe I just don't deal with this. And it is going to be something that haunts you like your shadow. So don't run away from it. Look at it calmly, gently, balancedly within yourself, not for everybody else. This is a time to look at things for you, Libra, to say, how does this guide me forward? How does this affect me? How do I move into my power? Because you're moving out of a place of poverty, doubt, fear, lack, and you're stepping into a place of prosperity, abundance, and bounty. And you're going to find that it's very easy, especially here, especially with the sense of, people having spoken over you that, oh, you're not going to make it, and oh, you couldn't possibly, be as successful as you want to be, or who do you think you are? Or we never get to that point. Like, the family never gets to be that. And don't think yourself better than any of us. And so here, you're battling that a lot. You're battling either from this life, from past lives, and you're going to sit there and you're getting kind of frustrated with everything that's kind of coming your way. And you're saying, how is it that I get to move forward, that I get to break this, because I don't want it anymore? And there's this frustration, especially in the arms, where you're going to be like, I don't want to hold this weight, because it's kind of like your arms are out like this, and you're just having like planks of wood put on your arms. It's like bending you down and down and down. You don't want to hold it anymore. You don't want to do it anymore. There's a bit of anger, frustration, a bit of resentment that's coming forward. And it's kind of like, I don't get to be on the outside of wealth. I don't get to have my dreams shattered. I don't get to have, everything that I've worked for fall apart. And that leads you to the Four of Fire, because first of all, you're very fiery at this moment. It's very passionate, very determined, very much looking forward to where it is that you need to be. But you're also sitting there and saying, no, I get to embrace what's beautiful, peaceful, prosperous, and celebratory for me, not for anybody else, but for me. I get to open up that door. I get to see my bounty. I get to see my understanding. I get to say, this is who I want to be. And this is where I want to be. And this is going to open up doors of newness. This is going to open up either new relationships or, a deepening and a newness to the relationship that you're in. This is going to open up newness in work, kind of sitting there. It's kind of like, oh, I can move forward like this, or I can change things up, or just a new outlook to where you want to be, to how you want to move forward in yourself, in your world. This is a celebration. This is also realizing that life gets to be celebrated. It is a precious, beautiful, powerful gift. And so often we take it for granted until something really bad happens. And then, even then we can get really frustrated, really angry, and say, why does this happen to me? Instead of sitting there and seeing the thankfulness for where we are. And I know that sounds really odd, because I remember a few years ago, I got super, super sick, and it was really, really bad. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm thankful for this. It was like, you're broken, but you still have to get up and go to work. You can't breathe, but that doesn't matter. And so here with the Four of Wands, it's actually going to be looking back at things over your life also, and sitting there and saying, wow, like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I can't believe I got to move forward like this. And it's going to take a lot of the chaos that is around your heart, because there is chaos around your heart, and it's going to be kind of settling it and saying, there's peace, there's beauty, there's abundance, there's power here. And I get to embrace that power. I get to embrace that blessing. And the Five of Wands is going to want to keep you in chaos, other people's ways of seeing things, other people's truths. And instead of letting those truths be what guide you, letting that chaos be what moves you forward, you're going to be like, no, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm not getting into the politics of everybody else. I'm not, office politics, friends snipping with each other. It's like, no, I'm setting on my goals, and I'm setting on my path, and I'm going to diligently, dedicatedly work towards what my subconscious is putting in my path, like things that are coming into my path that seem to be setting me backwards. So this could be like, you decide to start exercising or to start going on walks, and then all of a sudden you get a cold, and you decide to, start tidying and making everything, really nice, and then all of a sudden you're just exhausted and you don't want to, and it's too much, and like you just want to press the mute button on life. And so here you're looking at the chaos, and you're going to be mastering the chaos. You're going to be calming the chaos, but it's also going to very much be a challenge where you see yourself moving forward, but at times you're also going to see yourself, having steps backwards. So you're going to have to be very kind to yourself, because as you stop the chaos, as you stop the fighting for fighting's sake or doubting for doubting's sake, you are going to start to see the world open up to you. And that's a thing that is going to be scary. It is going to be scary to sit there and say, I can have my cake and eat it too. I can open up my world. I can see, I can embrace, I can be so much more than I thought I could be. And so as the world is opening, there is going to be a part of you that wants to sit there and say, no, I don't want this. Like, I can't do this, because there is that sense during the Mercury retrograde that one more thing. It's like, one more thing. It's like when putting the laundry away becomes too much. And it's that sense of just one more thing will be the straw that broke the camel's back. And the world is saying here, it's time to start to see that you are more powerful than you think you are, that you can walk forward in a way that you hadn't expected. And so opportunities are going to start coming your way to broaden the world. And it doesn't mean that it has to be big. It can be like going someplace you hadn't gone before, or, and it could just be driving in your car, like, 5 seconds, down the road kind of thing. And you start to see that the world is vaster, that there's more to where you are or to what you want than you realize. And it's also not feeling like this is out of place. Like, everybody else gets to have this, but I don't. This is here really very much as you unite with what it is that you desire. You start to see that the world has not meant for you to be deprived. It has meant for you to move forward in abundance. And there is an aloofness to this time in Mercury retrograde that Aquarius brings. And Aquarius brings this time because it's spiritual, it's connecting, but there's also a sense of being separate from others. And so here, as the world opens, you're going to be dealing with a bit of that aloofness, a bit of that, am I moving forward the right way? Or, not feeling quite like you belong, like there's something that's missing. And this is looking also at what you truly desire, what you truly want as you're moving forward. And there's a sense here of divinity really seeing into your soul. So it can be that you don't feel like you fit somewhere because you don't fit there anymore. It might have been a fit once upon a time, but it's no longer right. And there's something that you need to change. And now this is harder when you feel it more domestically, like you feel it within your home. But this is something where you're starting to see things changing around you. You're starting to see yourself moving towards a bigger goal, something more that you desire, something that you felt quite out of reach of. And it's bringing you into balance with yourself, into harmony with the tame side of how you see things and the wild side of how you see things and the ferocity for which you move forward. And it brings you into a place of magic and calling that magic into your life and seeing that you have control not control so much, but you have the authority to call forward your passion. You have the authority to call forward your emotions, your heart. You have the authority to call forward your prosperity and your knowledge, and the cutting through the bull, and moving to the truth. And you're going to stand before the altar of your existence, and it's going to be as above, so below. And that's a statement that's used so terribly often, but it's as you believe it, so it becomes. As you see it, as you imagine it, so you create it. And the really cool thing about the mind is that the mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality, which is also a terrifying thing about the mind. So what you're doing here is, as you stand before the altar of your existence, as you stand and you create and you cultivate, your mind does not know the difference between what you think is impossible and what actually is impossible. So you're going to start to set new limits for yourself. You're going to start to set new goals and new boundaries and new understandings. You're going to be pushing that envelope more and more and more. And there's a sense of coming into unity with where it is that you want to be. And there's the repeat of the number 5 here. So now 3 times. So there's that chaos that comes forward, but there's also that freedom that unites you, that guides you, that pushes you into a place, into a sphere you hadn't thought you would be. And this is a sense of really embracing what you're good at. During the public arena, during this time, this is really focusing on your strengths. And you're going to sit there, I know, probably, and think, Dane, when would you choose not to focus on your strengths? Like, why would you do that? It's because you have inadequacies coming forward. You have the 3 of Cups. And for me, the 3 of Cups are those people who were supposed to celebrate us, but just couldn't. They just couldn't do it. And what really hurts is when these were supposed to be people who you're told are supposed to be on your side, like a parent or a guardian or, just like a lover, a friend, just somebody that you put all this trust into, and they broke your heart. And it can make it, first of all, very hard to trust again, but it makes it very overwhelming to see how to move forward and where it is that you want to be. And what you're uniting here is that part that they broke. What you're calling forward here is that power that seemed to have slipped away. And now you're stepping into your truth instead of, I'll prove to you. It's like, I have nothing to prove. This is where I want to be. And the Queen of Water, the Queen of Emotions, the tender-hearted, empathetic, patient loving person, and also love that comes forward here, is the sense of being patient, being healing, being empathetic with yourself, opening up those waters, drinking deeply of that cup, saying, this is where I need to be. This is what I desire. And it's going to really open up your sacral chakra here, where we have love and creativity moving us forward, where we have that sexual energy coming in. There's healing waters coming forward. This would be a great time for like an Epsom salt bath. I know it sounds so maybe mundane to do, but it really does clear out a lot of negativity, a sense of becoming one with your sensuality, becoming one with your emotional creativeness. And that's going to open up the doors to really embracing what you love, to shining really brightly, because you're stepping into power with yourself, stepping into a greater understanding of truth and desire and where it is that you want to be and how it is that you want to move forward and what it is that you love. The Sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. And it's falling into alignment, into unity with that happiness as you release so much of what has held you back. And now let's see as we go deeper. Libra, January. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st? I feel like I have a cut right here. Sorry about that. 2021. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So So we have the Two of Pentacles. We have unity coming through again, the Taurus energy, okay? But there's a sense of uniting, of seeing, of things becoming more harmonious within yourself. Here, it crowns you in the outer arena. Here, it's at the center of you, in your inner self. You then have the Three of Pentacles moving you forward. You have the Ace of Swords, the ego coming in, which is Cancer energy. And you have the Star coming through now, rooting you within your inner self, within your heart. Excuse me. Then we have Justice. So Libra, you are shining through the essence of you. We have Release, which is the Devil, Scorpio energy. And we have the Sun crowning the Sun. So that is just absolutely amazing. There is a true happiness that comes forward because you're releasing so much. You're walking away from so much. And it's not that you're walking away from it. You're sitting there and you're saying, I can't, it's kind of like I can't be fighting shadows anymore. I can't, because they will always be right behind me. And the Two of Autumn, the Two of Pentacles, is this balance within yourself as you're seeing the gifts, as you're discovering the gifts as you kind of go along, and as you're looking at the fears, the doubts, the angers, the apprehensions, and everything that you're balancing, everything that's being thrown at you, and even just sitting there and kind of like throwing your hands up in the air and saying, I just don't want to do this. You're not balancing yourself. And it's going to be so important to balance yourself. It can be giving you like a you day, just a sense of a pampering of yourself, or a little bit of a break. There's something here where you have to stop being so hard on yourself. You come into balance, and the unity with your inner self in what you desire moves you away from the poverty that you are feeling. And it's the 5 over the 5, which brings a completion of a cycle here, because 5 and 5 is 10. And as you are uniting, but also as you are sitting there and looking at it, now it can be that you might have had financial troubles growing up, and you might have gone through really dark periods in your time, in your life, where money just wasn't there. And money is really important. Like, it is super important. As somebody who has, been devastated through the lack of money, like, you can, if you don't understand that, you've just never been there. So here, you're uniting within yourself with also this sense of worth. It's like, I'm worth being prosperous. I'm worth, having bounty and moving forward in that bounty. And you're uniting with the part of you that's ready to open up that door, that's ready to sit there and say, I'm changing my life. I'm changing the way that I am moving forward. And it brings you to seeing that all your hard work, all your dedication pays off, and that there is this passionate, brilliant connection with the peace and the abundance and the happiness that you get to live within your life. The sense of coming home, the sense of celebration, the sense of a sacred union within yourself that's moving you forward. And this is what you've worked so hard for. Other people are going to take credit for it. Absolutely. They're going to sit there and say, oh, I'm so glad I was able to help you out. It has nothing to do with them. Maybe it has a little bit to do with them here and there, but this is really all about you here, Libra. And then the Ace of Swords over the 5 of Fire and the world. So over the chaos and the world opening up, there's knowledge that comes in. There's like this divine wisdom that guides you forward, that helps you cut through the doubts and the fears. You're seeing that your mind is a weapon, and it is your most valuable weapon. It is the way that it's kind of like what sets human beings apart from other animals within this world. It's like our ability to use tools, our ability to set traps, which doesn't sound like very, positive things, but it gave us our complex understanding, which really helped us to survive and thrive forward. And so this is that gift coming in of calculation, of seeing, of putting pieces of the puzzle together, of reason, and it opens up the world for you. And there's a sense here, like, as this gift comes in from divinity, the ego, you're going to look at things, and as you're looking at what you wish for, as you're looking also at the aloofness in life that is impacting you during this time, you're going to see where the ego comes in and really wants to take control of what the heart wants. It's kind of like, oh no, but you could do this much if you did this much. Like, you can have this much if you thought that was okay. Like, look at how much you could have. And the ego comes in and it wants to actually rob you from your path. It wants to rob you from the joy of why you started to begin with, or why you are headed down this path. And so here it's looking at the ego and saying, I'm important. And it's noting that, Libra, because you're going to want to go completely, like, do a 180 and say, okay, well, I should have no ego in this and be completely selfless. No. No, that's going to also get you into trouble because it's going to build resentment because you're going to be giving and giving and giving, and nobody's going to give a damn because they're just going to expect it of you. And so here with the ego, it's looking at things and saying, I'm not doing this for recognition. I'm not doing this for fame and glory. I'm doing this because it is a calling within my soul. It is what my soul has wished for so long. And it's moving me then forward to that soul's wish once again. It's like renewing that wish. And it moves you to seeing the power that you have, to actually probably, well, it's not probably, it's achieving more than what the ego even thought possible. And it's kind of breaking down those barriers, breaking down that which has been holding you back. And you're going to find that you embrace the stars, the moon, the sky, the sun. You embrace brilliance that, yeah, because you have the moon here, you have the stars now twice within the heart, and you have the sun, which is the biggest star, like, in our, that we have to us. And so here, you're calling these powers to you, all which shine, and reflect that light that bring us forward. So there's something here, there's some sort of illumination, there's some sort of understanding that comes. And as you're uniting within your inner self, as you're moving away from the hurtfulness that has been so prominent, you are going to find yourself coming into balance. Now, this balance isn't being fair to everyone because, Libra, you try that. You try to be fair to everyone. You try to balance life with love and with harmony and with everything like that for everyone. You can't. You have to be discerning for you. You have to balance yourself with the energy that calls you forward, with the brilliance that ignites your life, with the joy that guides you towards more. And so here, with justice, you are being just to yourself. You are finding that justice, that harmony, that understanding, and you're releasing so much of what has held you back, that has felt like a noose around the neck. And you're going to see that you embrace love and deeper understanding and a healing coming forward. And as you do this, you then walk in the light of the sun. You walk in this glory, this truth, this brilliance, this power, this happiness. And it all comes because you're facing what you do not want to be facing. The subconscious is bringing things forward in a way that has you looking at life and has you looking at yourself in a way that you didn't want to. But it's breaking that shell. It's opening and cleaning out the wound. It's kind of like letting a wound fester. And then things can get really bad. But it's clearing out that wound and saying, there gets to be a new start. There gets to be a new start. So let's see what your spirit animals have to say. How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Libra be affected by Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. You have right here the peacock spirit. Let it shine. Let your heart shine. Then you have the seahorse spirit. Watch and wait. You will be absolutely surprised what comes forward as you watch and wait, and as divine timing takes over, as your angels guide. Then you have the butterfly spirit. The transformation is beautiful. You really are going to be astounded by the way you transform, especially since that transformation has been being blocked for so long. The earth star chakra has been blocked for so long that you're going to see this transformation as something that you've longed for, you've yearned for, and you hadn't been able to put it into words. Or you hadn't been able to pinpoint what it is that you so wanted. And this Mercury retrograde, when everything turns on its head, when communication gets all muddled and fuddled, you're going to find that all of a sudden, like, things become really clear. And that sounds so odd to say, but it's like all of a sudden you're going to see every time you trip, every time you misspeak, every time, something like a miscommunication happens, and it happens and it affects your heart deeply, because that's part of the five of fire. It's like that chaos just for the sake of chaos, which is what Mercury retrograde is. You're going to find that it starts opening up your world more. It starts pushing you out of your comfort zone. It heads you in a path that you're thinking, oh, wow, no. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's time. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the horse spirit. Freedom is yours. Yeah, it's time. It's time to break free. Your subconscious person message is the star. It's Aquarius. This is your time. You now have the star in every single deck. This is a time when wishes are granted. And it doesn't feel like it should be, but it is. This is a time when what you deeply long for starts to be seen. And it starts to be seen within your life because divinity is bringing it forward. There's a balance, there's a harmony. Then we have your subconscious chakra message, which is personal power, which is the solar plexus chakra. You are stronger during this time you're stronger than you realize, Libra, and that's usually for life. And that is for life. But here during this time, there's a power to you, there's a dedication, there's a fire that is quite strong, quite intense. Your subconscious tarot message is the Eight of Water. You're walking away from what you once thought you would love. It's a new start. It's a new way forward. And then it brings you to your subconscious, to go deeper into your subconscious. And it brings you to the Lovers. It brings you to falling in love with life, to falling in love with what you want, to sitting there and saying, I walk away from what I once thought I would love, to embrace what I love now, to having life be something worth loving again. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negativity, a raising of our positivity as we unite with our soul's wish, as we unite with blessings and happiness and joy, as we unite with love, as you meet with some really intense endings to bring forward powerful and beautiful beginnings. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.